Prior to machining the holes for the fork leg clamps, I'd removed a big chunk of stock, therefore reducing the depth of the cut for the boring. Now that I'm ready to bore the hole for the stem clamp, I would like to do something similar. However, the design for the bottom of the yoke, which we're looking at here, and the CAD printout is the bottom up view, is not quite as simple. The stem hole is here, and around that I've got a semicircular recess which extends effectively backwards or upwards in this picture. So before I start the drilling and the boring of the stem hole, I'm going to rough cut this section away to reduce that thickness so I don't have to bore the full depth. So I need to take off around about 23 millimeters, 23 millimeters from the bottom of the yoke in an area yet to be defined within that semicircular shape there. Again, we've got the yoke clamped on the table top down, so the top surface is down against the table. We've got the template roughly in position to give me a bit of a guide. The stem hole is the inner circle there. The outer semicircle extended up a bit or backwards a bit is going to be the recess I need to cut on the bottom. At this point though, as with all the other cuts, I'm not looking for a final cut. So I'm effectively going to cut a slot big enough to clear the bottom of the stem hole. But if we look at rather roughly, what I'm looking at doing is taking off a section this is going to extend underneath, don't need that, effectively something like that. To cut that recess, I'm going to use a slot drill which is in the quill already. Just drop that down so you can see it. And I will be working by coordinates on the DRO, which is off to the camera's right. At this point, the stem is already centered above the stem hole, which is 117 millimeters on the x-axis from the far corner and 92.5 millimeters on the y-axis from the front face. The aluminium block, which is now looking more and more yoke shaped after each operation, is back on the table. It's top up this time, as we were earlier. I've machined the recess that will sit underneath effectively the stem clamp part of the yoke. It's not the full recess, but it's enough to allow me to drill and bore the stem hole without having to go through the full 50 odd millimeters of material. I'm not going to video this operation, I'm just going to be doing a repeat of what I did for the fork legs, just to a slightly different diameter. I've just ran a cut down through the stem hole. I think we're almost there. The collar sits on top of the stem. Yep, that's actually a very nice snug fit. I think that's good. I'll take it off the milling table now and then we'll see if it fits. With the fork clamp holes and the stem clamp hole machined, I am able to partially fit the yoke onto the stem and fork assembly. It's not on properly, it needs to come down probably another 10 millimeters, but I'm not going to force it at this point. It is quite snug and I've yet to machine the slits, recesses to allow the clamping mechanism to work. So my key dimensions between the fork centers and the offset to stem have been proven to be correct, which is a relief. And from here onwards, I'm really into the realms of aesthetics and making it look pretty. Clearly, it's still quite an ugly lump of material at this point. So I'll wrap this video up on this positive point and I will give some thoughts to what to do next.